Have you always been afraid of doing a prime rib? Well, let's get into it today and have some fun. Let's go. First things first, if you could smash that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up and the little bell so you know when I post all the ingredient listings and everything in the little community section here. So let's get into this. First of all, we're going to use kosher salt and salt our roast. This is a rib roast, by the way. It's a 3-pound rib roast I bought about 12 hours in advance and put it in the refrigerator. This is called a dry brine. So we're going to do that and let it sit overnight. I did all sides, covered it in salt. It's going to look much different when you take it out than when you put it in. We're going to go here. These are all half tablespoons. And we're going to make our kind of our dry rub we're going to do here. First, we're going to start with rosemary. And then we're going to switch over to paprika. That's actually smoked paprika. That one was a pain in the ass to get out. It didn't want to just come out. All right. Then we went over to the garlic. And some people do like to add white onion powder to this also. If you like, I choose not to. I add a mesquite flavored, which is Stubbs Mesquite Texas. Gives it that good smoky flavor that we're going to try to get. It will just enhance that a little bit more. And you'll see that in the roast the way it looks. It's not as black. It's going to be more of a orangey color, which is what this color is. And these are all, remember, half tablespoons. And then we're going to grind this up to make a little mix or flurry, is what it's called. I did a little elbow grease here. And what you're doing here is you're breaking the rosemary seeds up that's in here, kind of get that flavoring out. Really get that embedded into everything, bring it all together. And then we're going to mix this perfectly. There we go. Right on. Now we're going to get Worcestershire sauce. And that's going to be our binder. Some people use mustard, but for a roast like this, we really want to use something a little bit better. Worcestershire is a great sauce to use as a binder for our smoker. 9 times out of 10, I do tend to use French's mustard, but for a prime rib, it calls for Worcestershire sauce. So I'm getting my gloves, by the way. That's what I'm doing here. There we go. Doctor. And we're not doing this too heavy, just a few dabs here and there, kind of just rubbing it all over. And by the way, if you're going to do a lot of roasting and seasoning of steaks, I got that pan off Amazon. It's a quarter pan with a rack, it's called. And they're phenomenal. I got a few of them. There you go. And we're just getting all sides here, and we're getting ready to season this up. And notice I'm not really soaking it too much. I'm not doing this. It's just adding a little bit of flavor, not much. We're not trying to add a lot of flavor to this. We're just trying to use this so it absorbs into the meat, which is what we want the seasoning to do. Now we went ahead and grabbed our seasoning and went to town. Now I want to try to do as much as I can evenly throughout the entire roast. Rubbing it in nice and balanced is what you want. I tend to do one side than the other because they're the big parts. And I look at the color and I try to make sure the color matches. That's what I'm going for here. And then we're going to get the sides where the fat cap is. And the bottom. There we go. And then after this, we're going to go ahead and put our meat probes in once we get this all done up. And you see we still have a little bit left. Some people will take it at this point right here and they'll do a hot sear on it, which would be like a 30-second sear on each side. With a smoker, you really don't need to do that, or with an oven, you can do that. Either way, I choose not to. I don't like doing sears on big steaks like this. Just making sure we get that seasoning on every single corner we can. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and grab our meat probes. And they are very important. You want to use, for a roast this large, you want to use 2 probes. I tend to put 1 finger on the tray. You'll see me do that. I'll put 1 finger on the tray and then I slide it in evenly. So you see there's the 1 finger, and now it's kind of right where we need it to be. So I can get both sides of the roast, and then we know exactly what see, look at that, perfectly centered. And let's go out to the grill, ready to go. All right, once we have our grill preset to 220 for 4 hours. Some people like to do it at 225, but with this size roast, the weight, the 3 pound, I want to do 220 for 4 hours. And do make sure you have your pellets stacked up to the top and get everything ready to roll. And then say bye-bye, and we'll see you in 1 hour. We're going to come back in an hour. After 1 hour, we're going to come back and we're going to have apple juice in a little squirt bottle. Just straight apple juice that you get at the store. And I spray where you see those dark spots. We're just going to spray those a little bit, get a little moisture back in there, kind of liven it up. Let that go, and then close it up, and we're good to go. We'll be back in an hour. So after hour number 2, this is going into hour 3, we're going to flip our roast over. And then we're going to give a spray on this side too. And look how beautiful that looks. That just, I mean, yum. Sorry, my camera work is not very good. This is hard to do, holding a camera and doing everything with one hand. And that's actually my bad arm. So yeah, kind of impressed with myself. Thank you. And close that up, and we'll come back again in 2 more hours. See you soon. All right, once the internal temperature hits 125, which is where we're at here, we're going to go ahead and pull this off the smoker. Oh my God, that looks so good. Let me tell you, this tastes amazing. We're going to pull that off. We're not going to spray it the last time, by the way. Someone asked me that before. So don't spray at the end of the last hour. Shut off your grill. Don't be like me. I left mine on for 7 hours the other night. Take this inside, and then we're going to wrap it with tin foil or butcher paper, whichever one you want. I tend to use tin foil for roast this size. And then we're going to let it rest. You want to let this rest for about 30 minutes. You really don't need to do anything special to it. We're just going to wrap it up. And I tend to put my roasts, if I'm at home, I'll tend to put them in the oven with no power going to the oven. So it's not heating or cooling. I just want to put it in there because it's a kind of controlled environment with no air conditioning flowing on it. That's kind of the important part. If I was traveling somewhere, I would take this and put this in butcher paper and put this in a cooler and take it to a friend's house for a party or whatever. And it will still hold. You still got 30 minutes and you're good to go right there. No, it's not turned on. We're just going to let that sit for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're going to have a lot of juice at the bottom. I keep that juice to add to our au jus mix. And then, oh my God, look at that. You can see now the colors are amazing and just spectacular roast. Yeah, I was so happy. Pull your meat probes out. You're going to have to clean those very carefully. And I'll do a later video on the probes that I've used so many over the years, and these seem to be the best ones that I have. They're the Meter Plus ones. And these are the Pro versions. They're fantastic. And we're going to carve this sucker up. I thought I had a knife that was large enough that I pulled. I pulled one of my Japanese knives out, and unfortunately it wasn't big enough. And you'll see that when I actually yell at Jenny to grab me the big carving knife, and I kind of fucked up a little bit, but it's all right. So we're going to take this on our side, and you should do this on a cutting board, but I prefer to do this on the rack here because then the juices will fall into that tray that I use for the au jus. So it's kind of 50 one the other. You should use a cutting board for this, just so you know. I'm just, my disclaimer there. Let's go ahead and cut this sucker up. So as you see here, there's my Japanese knife, and I'm cutting, and I realize it's not big enough. This roast is huge. And I'm like, oh crap. So you can see here, we're really struggling to get through just because just the blade's not long enough. So I stop about halfway, and I asked Jenny to grab me the roast knife, which is the one I should have used in the first place. And the knife here is a Pit Boss blade knife that we got a couple years ago. A super sharp knife. And you'll see, this one's a little bad boy. There we go. And we finished off with that, no problem. And that got through this really easy. Should have started with that one. And the big reveal. Woohoo! Look at that. Wow. And that's a prime rib. Yeah. A nice ring. Not a lot of graying around the sides. That's super important. We didn't get a lot of gray around the top or the bottom. And then there we go. Remember, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you think of this recipe. Try it. It's not as hard as people think. Very easy recipe to make. Let me know what you want to make. Leave me a comment below. Please just put emojis if you want to. Yum, yum, whatever you want. I'll see you guys next time. Everyone be good. As always, deuces.